Welcome to Black Women in Media. Oh my goodness, this is a new series from Girl Code Media where we sit down with Black women shaping the film, television, and digital landscape. So they are going to be both in front of and behind the camera.
Yes, ma'am. And these conversations are about inspiration, authenticity, and community because we're here to uplift, right? We're here to rise, not just one person, but all. So you'll hear stories from directors, writers, crew members, other creatives, just everybody that we can find that are changing the game and in real time. They're really doing it in real time.
Yeah, and our goal here is simple, right? It is to create space, share knowledge, and remind Black women everywhere that regardless of when you decide to be a part of this industry, there is space for you.
Always. Today, we have the honor of welcoming a storytelling powerhouse, a creative visionary who has dedicated her career to amplifying often overlooked voices. Charlese Hawkins Hatton isn't just a writer, producer, and director. She's a force in the Philadelphia film and media scene, crafting narratives that center on the brilliance of creatives over the age of 40. With 3 degrees under her belt, including one from the prestigious NYU Tisch School of the Arts, Charlese has built an impressive career. In 2017, she launched Prime Act Media, a production company dedicated to telling rich, layered stories through the lens of experienced artists. Her first project, Stages, earned the 2019 Cammie Inclusion Award from Philly Cam and went on to screen at 2 film festivals. The impact of Stages was undeniable, leading to a partnership with Girl Co Media that expanded the story into a 5 episode web series. But Charlese doesn't stop at filmmaking. She's all about creating spaces for important conversations. She produced and directed Better with Age, a talk show tackling issues relevant to the 50-plus community. She also directed Cognac and Poetry, a multi-generational podcast bringing artistic voices together. And let's talk about her writing talent and her TV show script, Ethics Bureau, recently won Best Treatment at the Scripps Awards LA and was a semifinalist at the Big Apple Film Festival Screenwriting Contest. Charlese is a daughter, a sibling, a wife, a friend, a woman with an undeniable gift for storytelling. And today we get to hear from her firsthand. Let's welcome the extraordinary Charlese Hawkins Hatton. Hey, girl.
Girl,
Hey, you put some extra stank on that. I don't remember writing all of that, but thank you.
Yes, girl. Yes, you are a force.
you are definitely a force. Oh my gosh, we're so happy to have you here. Yeah, that is a bio girlfriend.
Yes,
Woo!
yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So let's jump right in.
Yeah.
We don't have too much time, and we want to maximize our time with this powerhouse. So one question that we always ask: what is that spark? When did that spark happen? Because every creative has that spark, that initial moment when storytelling grabs a hold of them. So can you share a specific memory or experience that ignited your passion for storytelling?
Sure. I have two. So the first one is that my mom always wanted my sister and I to um, kind of like expand our minds beyond our environment. So she always had our noses in books. And I've always had a passion for reading and I liked fantastical stories and things like that. So at first I thought I wanted a career as a children's book writer. Then, of course, you get older, you start choosing other paths, and that's what I did. So the second spark that kind of catapulted me into filmmaking was my sophomore year of undergrad. And I had an English teacher who not only was a professor, but she had her own entertainment company, and I would hear her
Mm.
having conversations about these celebrities and stuff that she was going to represent or book. And she asked for help on a student film project that she was executive producing, and so I volunteered. And the minute I stepped on that film set, that was it.
You're like,
Yes, yes.
that's
Wow.
amazing.
So we first met, the Trois, um, at a Philly Cam event for producers, and that's where we first met. And you talked to us about your pilot story of for stages, and and then it just blossomed. So, what did it mean for you to expand the story from pilot to a 5 episode web series? And yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, it was definitely a prayer answered. Because after I filmed the first iteration of Stages, I said, this story is not over. There's more story to tell, and I see it in 5 parts, you
Mhm.
know. And that was back in 2018, I believe.
Mhm.
And so, I just put that out there, from my mouth to God's ears.
Mhm.
And little did I know, God was working in the background to
He had
kind of
me sit right
orchestrate
next to you.
our meeting 2 years later. So, and from that conversation and everything else we did after that, we were able to make that 5 episode dream of mine come true. So, I would say for everyone, this is an example of keeping the faith, putting your trust in
Mm,
God and, speaking out your wants and your dreams, and then just leaving it up to God to make it happen.
Yeah.
say that. Say
Um,
that. It was.
it and remember when we submitted like the first
It was a dream fulfilled for us as well. But
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
that
It was a
first
dream fulfilled
iteration.
for, yeah. So when you said your prayer, we said ours, and then I sat next to you. But I remember when Naomi and I, we took one of our retreats. We wrote up the first round. We gave it to you like, oh, chef's kiss. This is where it's at. And you were just like, think again. And
Yes. Let's roll it back.
yeah,
Yes.
and your feedback and your vision never wavered. And it was those parameters that really helped us grow as writers. So,
Truly.
yeah, one of
Because
the,
we had to take our feelings about things out of it
yeah,
and really, really expand the characters in a way that was authentic to the characters, not us,
yeah.
not
Right.
to
And
us.
and you did it with such greatness because I saw the characters go in directions that I had never thought of.
Mhm.
You all actually helped me see some time beyond what I thought the characters should do. So I'm grateful to both of you for that. And it actually made me a better writer because I was able to see more perspectives.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We
Thank you.
received that.
Thank you. We
But
absolutely receive it.
so one of the things that is so magnificent about you is that you are a creative powerhouse. You have so many things going on, and you work full time where you manage people. You are a people manager. So, Primac Media, Hawk Hat Music, how Sway? Like
Yeah.
how do you juggle all of this, wife, and stay creative?
I take one day at a time
And a
and I give my
vitamin.
yes. Yes, and I give myself grace. So I'm not necessarily in the creative space every day.
Mhm.
I get these spurts sometimes. Like right
Mhm.
now, I have post-its on my mirror of a script that I want to work on, and I have all the acts set up on the post-it, but nothing's on them.
Mhm.
But it was just a day I was feeling creative, and I said, at least let me take
Mm.
this first step, which is setting up the post-its
Mhm.
and be okay with not having anything on them.
Ooh.
And then I
Mm.
go and work on my other tasks. And then that kind of giving myself that grace and that time to rest kind of helps my creativity because I don't like being forced into being creative because I end
Mm,
up making crap and then I have to go back and start over anyway. So I'm like, well, why keep stressing myself out like that? When I get that surge of creativity, I just go start writing everything down that I want. And then when it ends, that's when I end. And then I can, you
Mhm.
know, go tend to my husband or, focus on getting my mind ready for work.
mhm,
And thankfully, I've recently transitioned into another role. I still manage people, but it's a completely different atmosphere. It's more community based, and it's more aligned now
word.
with my purpose of
Mhm.
helping people. So I think that kind of eases my mind now, and
Mm.
allows me to be more creative.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You said a word
Yeah.
about um, when you're in that creative space or in that mindset and you just put it down
Mhm.
and then leave it
And give yourself some
because
grace.
that is where I fail. To me, I'm like, well, if I'm in it, then I got to figure out all the characters. I got to figure out all this stuff. Da, 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 and then I get crazy when I can't fulfill that. Right. Because it's like, no, it was supposed to just be a dump and
Mhm.
you just put it somewhere and you will return to it instead of, like you said, forcing the
Mhm.
creativity. Um, mm, I receive that. I
Yes, don't be
receive
so
that.
hard on yourself.
Yeah,
I know. I know.
and to piggyback on that, like a lot of creatives, like you were saying, Naomi, is that we don't give ourselves the grace to just do this much of
Yeah.
what needs, even though it's this much, but get that piece done. And
Mm,
you got it done. That's a win for today,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
And don't worry, it took
Grace.
me a while to get to that mindset because
Yeah.
I used to be someone like I gotta finish and I gotta finish
Yeah.
now, but all that stress just
I love
I don't
that.
know, it didn't wasn't worth it.
I love that. What as a black woman, what advice would you give other black women, especially other black women creatives who are striving to be authentic in their voice and potentially even secure support in first projects? Because it's tough. It's tough to to get out there. So,
Yes, yes, yes. Um, and in terms of support, I guess I can give it from the perspective of financial support, but then
mhm,
also like artistic support.
yes.
So overall, staying true to you is what always wins. I remember that one of my professors once said that, people will bet on the man and not the plan.
Yeah.
Mm,
So if you are, talking about your project or pitching it with the passion of someone who really has that vision, even if your future supporters don't like your script, can't resonate with your script, have no clue what your script is about,
mm,
they see your passion for it and they're going to bet on you and give you a chance, give you funding, give you support because of your passion, and they know that you're going to get the work done, and potentially they will get a return on whatever their investment was.
mm,
So I would say to Black women, you know, don't dim your light, don't censor your voice. Your voice is yours. That is the only thing that you have really that you own is your voice. So you can't let anyone take that away from you or try to make you change it just so that you can appeal to whatever they
Right.
might be able to give you. So
mm,
just continue to stay true to you.
girl.
I think that, and that it's like easy to say, but sometimes that's like one of the hardest things, right? Um, because we have this specific lens in a world that does not want us to share our lens with the world, right? And it's finding that community. And I think it's like the hope of, this podcast, right? Is that we offer that space for Black women in media to know like there's a place for you, right? So yeah, that was really powerful. That's really powerful.
Mhm.
Um, so Shar, what's next?
Oh, glad you asked. I am working on getting into kind of documentary
What?
filmmaking. Um, Short form
Say
though,
more.
like no more than 15 or 20 minutes.
Hmm.
Um, because I realize there's stories to be told from the everyday person. You know, a lot of stuff is becoming like reality is, well, let me give the example of reality TV. It's no longer reality. It's I'm doing this for a moment.
Mhm.
And
Right.
so even reality TV is scripted.
Yeah.
And I
Hmm.
kind of want to get back into a space of no, showing real reality, doing a real docu-series
Hmm.
of everyday people doing everyday things. One, I think we need to get more in touch with our humanity again and see that
Hmm.
everyone is not glitz and glam or, you know, in the best position. You know, we do need to showcase what it really is,
Mhm.
what's really going on in the world.
Hmm.
And also tell stories of people who I guess aren't people that people would be concerned about, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
the everyday person.
Yeah.
So I'm working with my uncle at the moment because he and his cousin had a youth basketball team that they were really passionate about, and they said it had a great impact on only on their lives, but on the lives of those kids because it took place in an inner city
Mhm.
neighborhood. And I'm like, oh. And once again, this is me betting on the man and not necessarily the plan because I don't know anything about sport ball. So that doesn't resonate with
Sport
me.
ball.
He
Yes,
doesn't
sport
do
ball.
sports.
That means all the sports. But because they were so passionate in telling me that they wanted their story to be told, I said, okay, I'll do it because you're
Mm,
passionate about it. So I know that the people it affected are going to be passionate about this story.
mm.
So currently working on that. And then the next short form one is going to be with this older woman I met probably about 2 years ago now. And she creates these fantastic art pieces out of her apartment just using, I think she said, flour, water, and salt. And
Wow.
she makes like her own clay in her apartment, and the pieces are fabulous. I went over to her apartment and saw it, and she told me her whole story, her whole upbringing. She's lived a life, and that's why I like working with
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, older individuals because they've
Hmm.
lived a life and they've got several stories to tell.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So that's the
Oh,
direction
go
I think
ahead,
I want to
girl.
go in.
Wow.
True
I'm
stories.
really,
That's the thing. You're
yeah.
telling true stories. Like reality TV is not true story, right? Because it's scripted. There's a storyline going on.
Mm-hmm.
We don't live our everyday lives with a storyline already going in.
Calculated drama.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. Exactly.
That sounds amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking
Um,
forward to hearing those stories.
Absolutely. All right. So we're gonna go into kind of like our rapid fire. I'm gonna choo 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 pew 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 shoot you some questions. A
Okay.
minute on the clock, but Annette will keep time because she is like, no, a minute. That's all we got. That's all we got. So I'll shoot you the questions. You can answer, and hopefully we can get it in time.
Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, go.
A film you're never tired of.
How high with Method Man and Red Man?
An onset must have.
Snacks.
Feed me. One word to describe your creative style.
Random.
Dream actor you'd love to direct. Random.
Uh, uh, uh. Anyone who says yes.
Okay. A dream actor you would like to work with.
Brian White. Brian White because he's like I've had like a crush for
The
the
dude with the
longest.
square, he always has that tight cut.
Listen,
Okay.
I don't look at the
Okay.
Left.
hairline.
One more. What makes you feel powerful?
Uh, my Black women support system.
Mm,
Yay!
raise double fists. Oh, girl.
That was
First of all,
good.
it's been great catching up with you. It's
Yeah.
been a
Yes,
minute.
yes.
Thank you so much, Charlese, for being a part of this new series, Black Women in Media, um, and just being here with us, talking with us, sharing your story, sharing your path, sharing your journey, and what's coming up for you next. So
Yeah. And
thank you so much,
Yes.
girl.
tell
Thanks
everybody
for
where they
having
can,
me.
tell everyone
Yes.
where they can find you.
Oh, yes. On Instagram, Facebook, and website Prime Act Media. And then for Hawk Hat Music, that is Instagram and Facebook at Hawk Hat Music Official.
Mm,
Right. All right, sis. Thank you so much. We really loved having you on here. Thank you for your
yes.
Yes,
Thank you,
I love what
Shar.
you're doing and congrats.
time.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sis.
All
Talk to
right.
you
Take
soon.
care.
All
Bye-bye.
right,
All right.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, that girl.
Oh my God.
She's a
People will
dream.
bet on the man, not the
The
plan.
plan.
Yeah. And learning to give herself grace.
Just to have that, like, it's all, you and I talk mindset all the time.
Yeah.
But that thing about betting on the person,
Hmm.
because when you do that, the plan it's created, right? The plan will create itself, but it's just really, really focusing on the person and telling that story. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited to see what she does with her new series.
Yeah.
With
And,
yeah,
sidebar through all the gems that she dropped, sis was looking mighty fine.
I'm saying, but that's Shar.
Way.
Shar comes through on set. Sis will still be like, "Yeah, I got this." Which it's like, let me tell you, the best EP
Hands
executive
down.
producer I
Yeah.
have ever seen.
Hands down. And I had to
I
on
learned from her.
um also brought her in to help
I'm one of
on
the, you pro
you
yeah.
were dead yesterday.
Yep.
I
Yep.
needed that support and she was right there for us, man.
Hmm.
She is not afraid to make those hard decisions. She is not afraid to tell people no.
That's not what I said.
Yo,
But,
oh
but
my
in a
God.
way that is
Yo,
loving and kind. You know what I mean? Like it's not attitude. The way Charlize moves in the
yeah,
world
yeah,
is through love. Always.
yeah,
Like you can feel it.
yeah.
You
When
can
she
feel it.
told one guy, was, oh no, we cannot do that, and stood there, and that guy was like, wait, what?
He went from here and she just stood there like, no, 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 we're gonna do it.
So, all right.
Yeah. Standing on business.
Yeah, stated on business. So everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope you really enjoyed this episode. Intentionally, we're going to be bringing these interviews every week. Really excited about this. Got some more dynamic Black women in media coming your way.
Yes, and if you are a filmmaker, crew member, storyteller, and you would love to be a part of this series, please reach out to us. You can find us at contact@girlcomedia.com. We'd love to connect and bring you on here and get to talking. So thank you all.
All right, see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.